and my name is Ed Cook, and I am a SCORE volunteer at our Canton chapter. Before we start, I wanted to go over a few things and educate you a little bit about SCORE. First of all, you will be receiving a copy of the recording of our webinar. If questions come up as Jessica goes through her presentation or her webinar, go ahead and use the Q&A function or the chat function, and we'll break in and see if Jessica can give us an answer. Lastly, there'll be a 4-question survey that you'll receive afterwards, and hope that with the idea of you can give us some feedback to make these a little bit better. But for those of you that don't know what SCORE is, we are a national nonprofit organization. We began back in 1964, and we currently have 225 or so chapters and like 11,000 counselors like myself. Locally, we're funded by the Star Community Foundation, the Hoover Foundation, the Greater Canton Chamber of Commerce, and we are a resource partner with the SBA. So besides sponsoring educational workshops like this, we counsel small businesses. That's really what our forte is. Our counseling is free and confidential. We counsel all types of businesses, or nonprofit, for-profit, startups, existing businesses. So if you feel you need help starting a business, or your business needs some help, we can help you with that. We have about 42 counselors in our chapter that have a very diverse business backgrounds in marketing or supply chain, HR, operations. So we would pull in the counselors that we feel would best help you out of your situation. Our offices are located in a Jackson Township administrative building in Jackson Township. We can meet there, or we can meet via Zoom. We can email. We can meet at a coffee shop someplace, whatever time and place works for you. So you can see our contact information on the screen now. Okay, with that, I'm going to turn it over to Jessica Wagner, who runs Just Be Media. And Jessica, it's all yours.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Like Ed said, I am Jessica Wagner of Just Be Media. I started in the social media field in 2010, doing social media for other businesses. About 8.5 years ago, I formed Just Be Media, which is a boutique digital marketing agency. We specialize in social media marketing, website design and development, and search engine optimization. So on the social media front, we really focus on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. In 2020, we decided to go full on boutique. So what that means is we basically provide the services of a large agency, but we bring a more personal approach with our team of 6. I have people on my team that specialize in website design and development, search engine optimization, content creation, and we each have a different passion and different type of business that we love to work on. So that's really how we can diversify ourselves. So last year we got a lot of website requests. So we have recently brought in another web developer. So that's something that's really exciting for us in 2024. So what I'm going to talk to you about is a piece of information that every small business owner, medium-sized business should have in their toolkit. So we call it a playbook. It's also known as a content strategy deck. Basically what it is it's more than your branding. It's your voice, it's your tone, it's your target persona. It has content pillars in it. So it's not quite the same as a branding pack. It's actually the guts that should accompany a branding pack. It translates to all of your digital media, social media, your website, and even your traditional marketing and everything in between. So it's a piece of content that I think it's like 25 pages long that you can physically, once created, give it to maybe a radio host if you're doing a commercial and say, these are our parameters, this is our voice, our tone, this is who we're talking to, you can do this, don't do that, type of information. And it would be the same if you were outsourcing to a company like myself, to say, here's who we are, this is who we're talking to, this is our point of view. Can you translate this on social media for us? So I'm going to pull up mine real quick. So this is kind of how it's presented. It's content strategy. Ours was done in 2021. These should be refreshed every year, but it's been a couple years, as you can see, for ours. It has a table of contents so you know where to find everything. So ours is 21 pages long. There's a little piece of information in here that's the purpose of the document. Simplify, clarify, and illuminate the path to a holistic content and social media program that properly communicates Just Be Media's or your business's unique value proposition. So you can see from the start, once giving this to someone, you're telling them this is how we need our message portrayed. I'm going to open up the chat real quick. I see there's some questions in there. I just want to make sure there's nothing from me. Okay. Keep this over here. So we're going to start in the very front of the playbook with the point of view. So you can see this is very branded with my colors and my logo. We do this for all of our clients. So your point of view is not your mission statement. Mission statements are great. Big companies tend to have them, but this is kind of like a expanded version of a mission statement. So for us, you want to state the problem. So what are other people doing? You want to propose your solution and kind of have your point of view in there. So our point of view is right here. We bring a more personal approach. So here's our paragraph about our competitors. So our competitors tend to focus more on their own needs than the needs of their customers because they can satisfy both reasonably well by offering okay content, but an acceptable product. So we like to sit down at the table with our clients and be partners with them. From inception, we dive into our client's business and immerse ourselves with their culture, offerings, and learn their audience. We can help them develop a complete marketing strategy, including voice, tone, and branding they can use and pass on to others as needed. So this is Just Be Media's point of view. I'm going to pull up a couple others because it's not a commercial for me, Amy, and we're getting to other examples. So this is an apparel company. So their point of view is be comfortable, be you. So you can see theirs is a little bit different than ours. Not only do we want you to be comfortable in what you wear, we want you to be comfortable with who you are. They make branded t-shirts and varsity jackets and things like that for a lot of students in my community. So their competitors have a presence on social media, but are not going over and above. Interaction with their followers is minimal. They bring a more interactive experience to the industry, showcasing why they're the best in business and active in the communities they serve. They like to talk one-on-one. You go into their store, you give them your ideas, and they produce it. So that's another example. And then Safe Sid is my last example of point of view. Sorry. This is a little bit different order than the last two. So you can see their point of view right here, very first line. Nothing tastes better than an ice cold beer, fresh from the tap, and nothing can ruin it faster than a dirty line. Here's where they go into their competitors and what they do. And here's where you can find their solution. So point of view is your statement, your problem, and where you make it better. So does anybody have any questions with point of view and how it kind of expands on your mission statement?
So Jessica, this is just an example of a strategy deck,
Yes.
right? Okay,
The
for a
strategies are
company,
completely different than tactics.
right?
Tactics are people that tell you to post 3 times a day. Or
So Safe Sid is an actual customer, or is this just an example?
oh, they're an actual business. They're in Wisconsin and they are a client. Yes.
Okay, okay,
Yep. And so is expertise. This is just part of the process that we take so that when we do take on a client, we can properly portray their messaging.
so this is the pre-work before you actually start a campaign, kind of a
Yep.
thing.
And we actually create these for people who don't ever become content. This is
Okay,
that don't ever become clients. We have created these for farms, for
okay,
child daycare centers, just so they can have someone else do this work for them in partnership with them. It's a lot of
okay,
work that goes into it. So we want to make sure that it's clear that you know, we can do this for you and you don't have to hire us once afterwards.
okay. Thank you.
Um, so next, we're going to go into unique value proposition. So the way a unique value proposition differs from your point of view is this is what sets you apart. This entire deck will be based on you, your target persona, and your new unique value proposition. So this is setting the tone for what you're going to post on social media. So it's basically like a really well thought out sales pitch. So you can see ours is pretty long. And you can see things in here that I've already mentioned. So we have a strong dedication to personal attention. Our client roster is diverse. Our team of people are passionate about helping our clients grow. We don't grow unless our clients grow, right? So the unique value proposition for expertise and what sets them apart, and this is probably the most important thing about expertise, is they design your vision on site. They don't outsource anything. So when you're thinking about your own unique value proposition, take a look at maybe your biggest competitor and figure out what sets you apart from them, and then jot it down. And these can be short or they can be very long, like mine. You can see Safe Sids is pretty short, you know, a combination that is almost too good to be true. They have power and safety. This is a beer line cleaning solution. So if you've ever had a beer at a restaurant or brewery, they all clean their lines. So they accomplish the seemingly impossible with their patented and revolutionary sodium hydroxide and hydrochloric acid replacement, making Safe Sid the only solution to keep beer lines clean, brewery equipment clean, and beer line cleaners safe and profitable while preserving the safety and palate of beer drinkers everywhere. So basically what they're saying is our competitors use these harmful chemicals and we don't. This is our unique value proposition. Does anybody have any questions about the difference between a point of view and a unique value proposition? So, point of view, why you're different than your competitors. Unique value proposition is a well thought out sales pitch. So another thing that goes into this playbook, along with our clients, we ask them who they think their main competitors are. So we do a really quick competitor analysis. We look at their social media, we look at their website, we look at their Google My Business, and kind of just take a look at everything that they have online. So this is how we can define competitive white space. So when I took a look at my competitors, I didn't see any consistent blogging. So once a month we put out a blog with, I don't know, ChatGPT and tips and tricks and things like that. So you can go on our website, you can read those blogs. We do the Honeypot app, which is a proprietary software that we use to communicate with our clients. It's an onboarding system, so we can collect your target persona, the national days of a year that you want to celebrate right from the get-go. And then, of course, we do this playbook for our clients. Expertise, again, an apparel company. So we just want to kind of show you the difference of different types of businesses. I'm service-based, they're B2C, and SafeSid is also is B2B because they're selling to other businesses, but they actually have a product. So competitive white space for expertise, consistent blogging. Media production would have been great for them. Professional photography, behind the scenes, long-term goal of a long-form video, and community interaction. So their clients were not having a whole lot of impact on the community with giveaways and partnerships and sponsorships. They're a known brand in the community, so that helps them generate user-generated content. Pull up SafeSid. You can see their competitive white space is a lot longer than the other ones. This is, again, a little bit of, you know, what was in their point of view and their UVP. They create a sense of communities by talking with their followers, not at them. So this is all stuff that their competitors were like used car salesmen. So they want to start the conversation about, you know, beer and what goes into it and things like that. So I wanted to touch on that because it's a small piece of the playbook, but it's super important. So next is my favorite part of this whole presentation. It's about your target persona. There is no, if you are the type of person that's just sitting down like, oh my God, I need to create a social media post today, and you just throw something out there. And it's not sticking. It's getting 3 likes. It's getting no shares. It's getting no comments. And it's kind of just out there because you had to do it. This is where your target persona and understanding who that person is can really generate ROI. It can put butts in seats of your restaurant. It can make your phone ring. And this all should be translated onto your website as well. So,
Hey, Jesse.
Yeah.
There's a question in chat about one of our registrants is asking if you could talk a little bit about the audience segmentation, what role it plays in maximizing value acquisition.
Yep, and I've kind of started
you're going to be
on that already.
Okay, all right, sorry, thank you.
That's okay. So many businesses have different audiences that they're talking to. So I have 2 main audiences that I know I need to talk to. I based this target persona off of my Facebook and small business owner target persona. I also have a target persona that is for like medium-sized businesses, e-commerce businesses who have a completely different strategy. than getting foot traffic in the door or their phone to ring. So audience segmentation plays a huge role in maximizing your value acquisition. And that's done through reporting. So you have your target persona, you're practicing talking to them. Is your phone ringing more? Are your numbers growing? Are you getting more followers on your social media that are actual potential clients? Not robots, not just general people, not your friends and family, even if they are your potential clients. You want to reach that top of the funnel, and target persona is really how we do that. So this is creating the sticky content that resonates with maybe your target audience is moms. So making a funny meme about like the day you become a parent, you realize how quickly you become one-handed, or how many things you can get done one-handed. I think there is a yogurt commercial on television right now that says, nobody ever realized that when they become a mother, you become a personalized vending machine for snacks. So that's kind of how knowing who your target audience is really maximizes that value acquisition. So this is how my target persona started out. It's a big, long paragraph, everything from their age, their biggest fear, what they enjoy. They care about social issues, but not necessarily willing to put it on their social media. They're cultured. Success for them is having financial freedoms to check things off their bucket list. Our ideal client is a real go-getter who needs a team of people to bounce ideas off of. So we know all of this about our target persona, but we minimized it a little bit for our playbook because this is really the important part of our target persona. So I'll give you a second to read through that. And then along with it, we have stock photos of what emulates everything that this says. So this is the vibe that we know that our target persona will resonate with. And then I'll show you expertise and safe SIDS as well. So expertise, their target persona is a little bit longer. So they know that their ideal customer is a 30 to 40-year-old mom with children in school K through 12 because they make spirit t-shirts and like I said, varsity jackets, embroidery and things like that. So these are all pictures of their ideal audience. She could also be a mom and a mompreneur. So she has a small business and maybe needs some brochures or business cards and things like that. So I'll give you a chance to just skim through that real quick. We took this one even as far as what emojis she uses. So we know that when we're posting social media for expertise, we're going to use those emojis because she gets them. So she's an all-around Midwest Mother of the Year. So Safe SIDS, I wanted to show you this one because it's a lot different than the other two. So here you can see their target persona. He's a down-to-earth, outgoing, friendly, dependable, true to his word, and willing to lend a hand wherever needed. That summarizes everything it says in the preceding paragraphs. He's a natural problem solver. He's just your all-around great American guy that you maybe picture with a flannel and a beard. And we took his target persona to a next level for a day in the life of. So knowing what your target persona is doing throughout the day can also help you post content that's going to resonate with them at the time of day they may be on social media. So are they passive scrollers? Do they look at their social media when they wake up in the morning? Do they look at their social media when they're laying in bed at night just to help them fall asleep? knowing that type of information can help you curate content that's like, hey, and it's 9 o'clock in the morning is never too early to have a great beer, don't you say? Things like that. So we also took their target persona to their digital buying behavior. We want to know about the accounts they follow. So food and beer, people and celebs, content creators, and stores where they shop. So knowing this information about your target audience can really help you. Hey, take a look at what is Dogfish Head Brewing and Founders Brewing and Citizen Cider. What is the trends in beer right now? So I can post about that from my target audience because it's going to resonate with them because they're already looking at those types of profiles anyways. So our cider's popular. What about non-alcoholic beer? Is that huge and popular right now? Because Gen Zers are really like not about alcohol, so knowing that type of information can help your bar, restaurant, or beer line cleaner company. So the way we do this is we have, and you can copy this. I think it would be helpful for you to just screenshot this. So you can answer these questions for yourself and start to develop your own target audience. We have about a 40 question questionnaire that we also use, but I don't think we have enough time to go through it all. So this is how you can start to decide who your target audience is talking or who you're talking to on social media. And it's not about the person you want to be talking to, it's about the person that you need to be talking to. So describe your ideal customer in a few detailed sentences. So this is your ideal customer. Is your target audience moms? If you have a business that sells a product, what I would do is I would create an analysis of the people who are actually buying from you versus the people who you want to be buying from you, because it can really help you fill in that gap of the top of the funnel. You want to know their age. You want to do this per platform also. So your Facebook audience may be different from your LinkedIn, may be different from your Instagram or wherever else you practice social media. So their age, their location. Excuse me, let me take a drink of water. Do your customers skew male or female? What is their target lifestyle and what lifestyle choices are they making that overlap with the interest in your products? Maybe you make journals or you're an author. Knowing that they read and only when their kids have a babysitter or any chance they can is good information to know about your target audience. What are the various reasons that they're interested in your product? What problem are you solving? What type of media do they consume? Do they just read magazines? If they can find one these days, online magazines. Do they watch New Day Cleveland? Or are they scrolling social media for every bit of information they can get? What are their biggest pain points? Do they just want a night out with the girls and they don't know where to go because everything's so expensive right now? If you've got, for example, Galentine's is a huge thing this year. So if you're promoting Valentine's Day as Galentine's, create a menu for them and put it out there. So then talk about having a night out with the girls, away from the kids, away from the husband, or maybe they're single. And then how are you solving their problems? And then the communication and tactics that go along with your target persona. What channels are this is big, important, future customers. So this is where you want to talk about, I've discovered that most of my clients are on Facebook, but I could reach a whole new audience on Instagram. So where are your future clients? And if you were going to create the 3 pieces of content today, what would they be? And you can jot them down. Again, I highly suggest screenshotting this, keeping this, and getting together with your marketing team or a person you trust that knows a lot about your business It could be your front of the house person. It could be your receptionist. And go through this piece of content so you can really start to understand who your target persona is. The next thing I'm going to go through are content pillars. And Gwen, this is where I want to find out how many people know what a content pillar is.
Sorry, Jessica, it keeps forcing me to
No,
do the
that's okay. This is a great
frequency one.
question too, because it goes into
Okay. There we are.
so I'm back.
Okay. Can you see the results of the poll?
I see the content pillar results. I don't see the other results.
Okay. I can go back to that one.
Okay.
Let me go. There.
Oh, there we go. Okay. So posting frequency, the last time I did this presentation, 3 to 4 times a week was what you were supposed to aim for. And that the algorithm loved the 3 to 4 really quality posts a week. This year it's looking more like 4 to 5. And the way that you can come up with 5 posts a week if you need to, are really understanding content pillars. And I saw that most people don't know what a content pillar is. So I'm going to show you some examples, and we've got, again, different versions of these. So what a content pillar is basically top of funnel, middle of the funnel, and how you convert. Once you've converted, kind of like the back end information that once you've captured a client that they actually care about. So everything that we've discussed so far goes into these content pillars. So your point of view should be emulated. Your unique value proposition should be emulated. Knowing what your competitors are or are not doing should be emulated. And your target persona for sure should be emulated. So there are 2 different ways you can do this. You can have 3 content pillars like I have, or you can have, oh, I thought they had 4. Yep, they have 4. 4 pillars like expertise does. So this is where we're going to go through our why, our what, and our how. So you can title your content pillars the same way. 3 pillars is where you really want to, you're going to meet them on pillar 1. So if you go to a party and you know there's a potential client there, and you've already scoped out their social media, and you know maybe like they like to go to Aspen or Seven Springs and ski, and they're really into cocktails, you're not just going to go up to that person and be like, hey, so I see that you ski on your social media. I ski too. Do you want to be friends? No, that's not how you're going to do it. But you do want to meet them where they are. So if you know your target persona loves to ski and they love bougie cocktails, then you can start reaching them at the top of the funnel by talking about those things. So your pillar 1 is going to drive brand awareness grab attention with the right type of buyer, and facilitate consideration. So this content is like holding a mirror up for our target audience, making it clear that we are talking to them and they are in the right place. The effect of this pillar is for prospects to say and feel, wow, this brand gets me. I like them. You can copy all of this for yourself. But the content translation should really be more about your brand. Image, for me, it's image-driven content that is rich with humor, unwinding after a long week or day, life struggles and successes, just being us, community love, having the freedom to grab lunch and meet. We are not corporate. We are your brainstorming best friend. So let's take a look at expertise. So,
Hey, Jess, you do have a couple questions.
oh, the questions are not
One's
popping.
from Harry. He's asking if you could please define what is meant by quality when saying quality posts. And then Barb has a question as well.
Mhm.
So I don't know if you're going to
So
touch on
Harry,
those as we go or.
Yeah, so we've always heard, Harry, quality over quantity, right? So if you're just posting to put something out there and you don't really have any purpose, but you know you need to post 5 times a week, so you're just going to say something very generic because you have to post, don't do that post. Wait until, lean on the 3 to 4 times a week on that one when you can say, hey, we have a new product in, or you have something very funny to say about your brand, or maybe you're not that type of brand. I would really have to take a look at your specific business to give you real good advice on this. I don't know if you're a B2B, I don't know if you're brick and mortar, I don't know if you're e-commerce, I don't know what type of business you are, but knowing your target persona and knowing what they would resonate with is a very generic answer on what quality would be. I'm going to give you guys all my contact information after this. So if you have follow-up questions from this presentation, you can feel free to ask me and I will be happy to answer on a more specific basis for your particular business. Barb, you do stories more than posts, but you're saying post 4 to 5 times a week. So stories, I'm sure you've heard, they go away after 24 hours. If you're talking about Instagram, Reels and stories will reach a different audience than your in-feed posts. I know a whole handful of people that will only look at stories and Reels. My clients tend to scroll in the feed as well, so I know I need to do both. So it's not uncommon for me to post something that is completely different from a tip I may be posting in my stories. When I do Reels, I am, my target audience is restaurants, bars, anyone in the hospitality industry, wineries, hotels. So I tend to lean more towards recipes and food. So, a good answer to the question is do both, make the content different. Stories you can do 4 or 5 times a day. I would say if you are focused on stories, to make sure you stay in the top of the Instagram feed as new content when someone's in their search or in feed. You want to do morning, maybe your lunchtime. What are you doing in the afternoon? And what are you doing in the evening? Whether it's a morning breakfast shop because you're a healthy person, or a lunch meeting, and then maybe a tip later in the day, and then how you wind down at night, maybe the book you're reading at that time. Would all be great story content. And you can take one of those pieces and put it in your in-feed post for Instagram. It really depends on the amount of followers you have, on how many times a day you should be posting on Facebook. Because if you have 500 followers, that's where we recommend once a day. Don't ever go more than once a day. And you can repurpose content if you have 10,000 followers or more. 5,000 followers or more. So if I'm posting on Monday my breakfast, I may go in and post it on Wednesday evening on my Facebook, so I can have repurposed content because I know where those audience live and what time they're on that particular platform. So does that answer your questions, I hope? And again, if not, you can always reach out to me. So back to the questions over here, content pillars. So again, with 4 pillars, this is where they have their brand awareness, their product consideration, conversion, and loyalty. So their process is a little bit different than mine. They have an actual product to sell, a tangible product. So it was really important that we use this surprise and delight with an incredible experience and more brand stories about the difference they are making with their mission. Closing the loop between product receipt and digital. For example, someone receives a 10% coupon with the delivery of their first order. So that's those little surprise and delight things that every business can do if you're going to do 4 pillars. Pillars can also be culture, the culture of the brand. So people like to work with people they resonate with. So making one of your content pillars the culture of your brand, the behind the scenes, the personality, the struggles and successes, the meet the team posts. If you have a business where you hire people, doing an employee of the month with, if they could be any animal, what would they be? And putting that type of information with their picture out there and just letting your audience know that you love your team. They are a great team, and maybe they don't resonate with you, but they like that person at your business. So they're going to continue to do business with you. And it just shows that you care about the people you hire to put out quality work. And then experience is a great pillar that we like to do at Just Be Media. So this is where your tips, your tricks, your resources can go out in a post. Any awards or media attention that you get, this is all about the experience of your brand. And then positioning yourself as the expert at what you do is also kind of that pillar 3 behind the scenes type content. So it's all about this stuff. This is where you gain authority in what you do. So does anybody have any questions on content pillars or just any other questions in general? I left about 15 minutes in this presentation to go over any questions that anyone has, and you can be specific about your brand. And if not, I can go over some just general best practices.
Anybody have any questions out there? Now would be a great time to ask them.
Awesome. That makes me feel like I'm doing a good job. So since nobody has any direct questions, Jacqueline, oh, you know what? We're not screen sharing anymore, are we? I am so sorry. When my computer crashed, I didn't share my screen. So anybody that needs to, you can copy these, do a screenshot. And I'll pull up expertise as well, so you can kind of get an idea of a B2C. This also. Talked a little bit about this. These are the audiences that they're reaching for each pillar. And then I'll pull up expertise for you. So there's their pillar 1, 2, and 3. And then there's their pillar and performance. Does everybody have that now? I'll keep that up for a little while. So, I lost questions too. Different version of content pillars. So some best practices that everybody can keep in mind. Let's see, we have some chats. Paul, that question is all over the board. It really depends on who you're hiring. I will tell you that 2 times a month is not enough. Jackie, hopefully, me sharing my screen helped you decide what the content pillar titles are. Okay. Yeah, Paul, really everybody's different. And again, 2 times a month is not enough. I would say twice a week if you're going to go for the number 2 times. If you're going to do 2 times a month and you have a website, that's where I would do a blog 2 times a month. If you have any other questions on that, just let me know. Some best practices with social media. Consistency, and this kind of goes back to Paul's question. Consistency is key. Don't post 3 times 1 week and then don't post for 3 weeks. If the number 3 is where you're going to start and what you're aiming for, post 3 times a week as long as you can until you feel comfortable to bump it up to that 4 times a week. So try to be consistent in what you're posting. You can actually train your audience to know how many times you're posting and when to look for your stuff. I cannot stress grammar and spelling enough. Especially if you're trying to position yourself as the expert in your field. This is where I use a program called Grammarly, GRAMMAR.ly. You can copy and paste all of your posts into it, and it will make sure the grammar is correct, not just spelling. I will warn you, they like to hyphenate things. So if you're not a person who likes to hyphenate things, you don't have to take all of their suggestions. I know ChatGPT is all the rage right now. If you create your content in a Word document or a Pages document before you're putting it on social media, you can copy and paste all of those posts and put it in ChatGPT and ask it to check for grammar and spelling, and it will do that for you. Another one that's super important is to give credit where credit is due. So we rely a lot on user-generated content, and what that is when you have someone out in the field taking pictures wearing your newest sweater, and they post it on their social media because they love it so much and they want all of their friends to know that they buy from you. Oftentimes they will tag you, or you can also use a listening tool if they don't tag you, but that is called user-generated content. So if you take that really great picture and it fits your aesthetic in your Instagram feed and you post it on your profile, give credit to that person by using either the camera emoji and using @ and whoever posted it, or just say, thank you so much to Jackie for posting our sweater. We love it. It looks great on you. Make sure you're giving credit whenever you take any type of content off of anyone else's feed, to make sure that not only you're not stealing it or posing copyright infringement, but you're also telling that person thank you. So it's going to make them feel good about posting you again. A new piece of best practices that kind of came about during the pandemic and Black Lives Matter and all of the things that have happened in the last 4 years. You need to make a decision on whether or not you're going to post for social justice or environmental impact or things like that. You can take a stance, certainly, as a business owner, or you can leave it off. One really good example of this is I used to have a client who made clean soap. It doesn't produce any gray water. So if you're taking a bath in the wilderness or you're camping or whatever, you could actually dump that gray water into the earth and it wouldn't have any harmful effects like traditional soap does. So that was a big part of her social media. Environmental impact. She supported 1% for the planet. So basically what that meant was 1% of all of her profits went back to that nonprofit to support the environment. She supported Greater Lakes campaigns or the Great Lakes campaigns and anything that basically had to do with water. So with you as a business owner and your team, you just need to make a decision on whether or not you're going to post about those things. And then if you're going to do it well. Don't be offensive. Make sure what you're posting resonates with your audience. Any questions about best practices? No, that's about all I have. I'm gonna pull up my information in case anyone has any questions. You can contact me. This is my website, my phone number. I can put my email address in the chat in case you don't want to go to my website. You can just email me direct.
Okay. Jess, hey, thank you for your time. It was great, a lot of information.
And I know I went through it very quickly, so I want to reiterate again, if anyone has any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I will be happy to answer any questions that maybe I skipped over too quickly or when my computer crashed, or any of that information.
Okay. All right. Thank you all. Have a good remainder of your week.
All right, thank you.
So long.